Welcome traders to our start of week technical analysis video. Jumping straight into things here. As you can see, gold has continued bullish. We've seen new all-time highs being created with gold now in the area of around 3,100. As you can see, sort of since this consolidation area that we found here, we had that last test of support in the low 3,000s, and price since then has pushed roughly 1,200 pips, with the now new all-time high for gold being around 3,128. What we're going to go ahead and do, as you can see, we don't have any key levels marked in up here. The reason for that being is there's not many key levels that have been given to us, which is a shame, but we're going to go ahead and mark these in now. So what we're going to go and do is we're going to go down to our minute 15 and just sort of start finding our key levels that we want to take into account. So we're going to sort of look at this area here and mark in anything that we can potentially see. So grabbing our little thing here, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to sort of mark in with our rectangle any points of interest that we want to take into account. So here we had a high that tested as a top side of this range where we obviously originally marked in this level here. I'm going to go ahead and remove this moving average as it is not relevant to us. I don't know why it's still there. Right, anyway, so we have this key level here that we found. Why have we found this key level? Because we can see that price is tested as a resistance multiple times on this level. We're also going to find a minor level at around this level here. As you can see, that was the last point. We had some sort of news event here take place, injecting volatility and volume into the gold market, followed by a retracement back down to this level of support that we found here, and then a big bullish increase. And as you can see, price ended up breaking above this. If I go ahead to go to our lower time frames real quick, you can see that more clearly. Price ended up breaking above this level. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we broke above that level and we tested back on that level as a support, indicating to us it is a key level that we want to take into account. So with that being said, we're going to move again top to bottom, left to right, and just sort of find any levels or any points of interest that we want to take into consideration. What we'll be doing when we're looking for these points of interest, we're looking for points within the market that have tested as both support and resistance, or tested as a support and or resistance multiple times. So we're going to find a level. We've found another level there. Remember, these levels don't have to be accurate. Nothing moves exactly to a certain price, especially gold. We're just sort of finding those levels in a rough sort of matter. Again, we have another level here. You can see that there is some sort of order block filling in here. If I go to our minute 5, you can see it a little bit more clearly. You can see that price found a resistance here. We then tested as a support. Price then came to this area, and the volume and volatility of gold slowed down in terms of the bearish momentum, and then we saw a bullish push out of this level and a test of support. If I go to our minute 1, you'll be able to see it even clearer. So obviously, as you can see, we came down here, we tested, and we found the support, sort of found a double bottom around this area here. Matter of fact, since we have that level here, I know it is only minute 1, but it's definitely just going to be the bottom line of that order fill that we can then take into account for future reference. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and continue to mark in this chart, looking at this now this top side of this bullish momentum. Looking at our minute 15 here, we're going to go ahead and just find in the sort of top resistance. So what we're going to go ahead and do is mark in that order block that we can see through this area here, as it was the new all-time high that was created. And we can also actually draw a trend line from this top to bottom. What we're going to go ahead and do, just so we have a little bit more information, is we're going to go ahead and grab our go on our minute 5 candlesticks, and we're going to go ahead and just sort of zoom in there. What I'm going to go ahead and do as well actually is just decrease the opacity of these blocks, as it seems they are getting in the way a little bit. I think they're just a bit too thick. I'll do it for those ones as of right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and draw a trend line from point A to point B. Obviously, we have now established our point B, so finding point A and dragging it through to point B without crossing through any candlesticks and grabbing as many wicks as we possibly can, and that looks about right. We're going to go ahead and mark that in black. So yeah, we have a trend line now. We have sort of a rough bias for the market. The overall bias for the market as of right now is definitely bullish. However, we are consolidating between this sort of range that we have found. This is going to be our bottom side support of this range, and the top side resistance of this range will be the new all-time high and the median of it around 3,125. What we're going to go ahead and do as well is we have a point A and point B here for a trend line. So we're going to go ahead and mark that in as well. Again, starting our point A and grabbing as many wicks as we can without crossing through any bodies of the candlesticks, just like so. And that will actually create a cross section which we can take into account that price sort of might fizzle out, if you will, and then a move could happen around this place here, which is actually roughly an hour and a half after the New York session will take over. So yeah, with that all being said, these are the levels that we're going to want to take into account now. We could mark in minor levels. Obviously, we're on our minute 5 right now, so we're seeing a little bit more information, but it's mainly our minute 15 that we're looking at as of right now. As you can see, we have established some significant points of interest, some interesting places within the market that we want to take into account. But yeah, as of right now, gold is definitely on the bullish side of things. As you can see, since we found that new all-time high of around 3,085, price then consolidated, we found a range and price broke structure and continued on higher. That is something that we are looking for now. As you can see, again, it's sort of the same pattern as you're seeing here. We saw an all-time high created around here, and then price came bearish, and then we sort of tested between these two ranges. So the current ranges that we're looking at, so this is going to be our top side resistance, this is going to be our bottom side support, and we're just sort of looking for price to either stay consistently between these two levels or break above or break below, giving us an indication to what could potentially happen next for gold. As it goes for a start of week technical analysis, I'd say that's roughly about it. If we go to our hour 4 real quick and just sort of look here, as you can see, again, very, very strong bullish momentum. Very few bears actually having any impact on the market. The same with the daily, as you can see, for the last 3 days, sort of since Thursday last week, we've seen significant bullish momentum. However, as you know, once price will push up, once price touches a new all-time high, or even once price pushes up, you always see some sort of a retracement. So we could expect to see at least one bearish candlestick over the next few days this week. Again, moving up on our time frames, going to our weekly, and there you can see the actual strength of this bullish momentum. If I go ahead and reset price scale and just sort of zoom out, you can see that we are just in a complete uptrend, and we have been for quite some time. And this is why I love gold, and why we love gold, and why we decided many years ago to pick this pair as the pair to trade, is because it's always trending in a positive direction, and the amount you can capitalize on those retracements is a significant amount, just making it a nice and sort of straightforward pair to trade on. Obviously, there is some levels that we could easily mark in here. We definitely have a level here of around 2,000, but these are weak. This is a very high time frame. This is the weekly chart. For example, if I go to the monthly, you can see how strong this really is, and you can see that this month so far, we have been pushing very much so. Obviously, March has been a very good month for gold. So with all that being said, that's going to be our start of week technical analysis video. I hope you've all enjoyed. Obviously, we have now established these 3 key levels. What we're sort of going to wait for now is, like we're seeing here, we're going to potentially see if price is going to consolidate between these 2 areas and continue to test as a resistance and a support. Obviously, indications that we could see a bullish push as of right now. We could see a break, and remember, a break is only if candlesticks open above. So obviously, this right now, you might see this candlestick go all the way up to there. That's not a significant break. You need a candlestick to sort of open above. So let's say price closed there and you see another candlestick open up there. That is a significant break. However, this is not a break as of right now. So with that taken into account, there's one indication that we can sort of preemptively understand or preemptively know that we're going to see a bullish move, which could be price breaking through this trend line that we have marked in here, potentially coming back up to test it, to test this resistance of this range, and then test as a support, sort of giving us a break and retest pattern and price continue on higher. And the same goes for a bearish move if we see price sort of come below this level, especially below this resistance. Price breaks through this trend line, comes back up to test our point of interest, our support of this range, and test our trend line as a resistance. We have a sort of double break and retest pattern as well, and we most likely will see a continuation back past that 3100 area. So yeah, with that all being said, that's going to be our start of week technical analysis. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope you are all feeling more up to date with the market. Since gold has been pushing to new all-time highs pretty much all the time this month, it is a difficult thing to understand. It's a difficult. So, for example, if you was trading another pair, you're not necessarily, especially a currency pair, you're not necessarily going to be seeing new all-time highs created. It's going to be trading within a range that has most likely 99% of the time been traded before. That's the difference between gold, as it is an asset, it is a material, is something physical, and it cannot be created. That's the reason why gold will continue to make all-time highs. As long as the dollar weakens, gold will go up. However, even if the dollar is strong, gold will always continue to go up, unless for some reason a bunch of miners decide to stumble across a substantial amount of unfound gold. But yeah, that's why gold is pushing the way it's pushing, and the dollar is weak at the minute. Yeah, that's going to be that. So that's our start of week technical analysis. I hope you're now in tune and you now understand sort of what to look for, what we will personally be looking for. Obviously, there's a few other things that you can take into account that we use. For example, our 250 moving average. They will give us a slightly bit better information. Obviously, this is just a technical analysis, and I just want to perform it on the candlesticks that we are shown. So again, one last time, that is our start of week technical analysis. I will catch you in the midweek write-up technical analysis, and then I'll catch you again in the end of week technical analysis. I hope you've all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that hit subscribe button, hit the like button. We really appreciate that, and leave some comments. Let us know how you're finding these technical analysis videos. If there's anything that you don't like, if there's anything that you do like, if there's anything that you would like me to elaborate on more, if you are just simply enjoying them and you're loving the technical analysis videos, just let us know in the comments below, and I will definitely check them out and reply as soon as possible. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the midweek technical analysis. Peace.